Welcome, 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 welcome to another exciting installment of our monthly live stream on advanced public speaking tips. I am thrilled to be here today as we dive into tips 21 through 25, unveiling even more strategies to elevate your speaking and captivate any audience. For those who may not have ever been here, let me just share what these live streams are about. Every week, we post a 1 minute video on all social media. And someone once said to me, and I loved it, who doesn't have time for a 1 minute video? Exactly. However, for those that may not, I like to meet once a month and share the tips from that month. So while you're always used to hearing tip 1, 2, 3, and 4, I am starting with tip 21. So if you do go to our social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you'll know where we are. As we continue our journey today, we will discuss 5 key insights pertaining to public speaking skills on more of an advanced level. Whether you are a seasoned speaker looking to refine your craft or just beginning, you are in for a treat. Sit back, grab a notebook, and get ready to absorb some key tips, some wisdom that I hope will empower you to communicate and command the stage with confidence and charisma. And of course, always look to the chat to make comments, say hello, tell me where you're calling in from so that I can engage all of you that are here. I see we have someone in from the Netherlands. Ishmael, thank you so much. Carlos, my fan from Toronto. Thank you, Carlos. I am so happy I have this opportunity to thank you. Thank you for always being there for our posts, for supporting us with your likes and with your comments. You might be our number one fan, and I am so thrilled that I can really acknowledge you here today. So thank you for joining. And Carlos, I'll read what you just said, which I makes me feel even better because it starts with amazing content. So thank you. You wrote, I learned a lot from you when I was at college. My communication skills changed a lot after watching your videos and your training. Saving for the future for the good courses. I always refer your content to some colleagues. Carlos, there are no words to tell you how grateful I am for your kind words and how thrilled I am for what has impacted your life. So thank you. And Ishmael, you are always in my lives. I know. Thank you. Yes, you are one of my top fans as well. So thank you for being here as well. Spark for Youth. You may be someone new. You're from India. And I know it is not 12 noon where you are in India. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy day. Thank you all. Many people think you're a natural born communicator. And for those of my fans who have watched my videos, you know that is not the case with me. I myself was a painful introvert. Yes, I couldn't raise my hand in class, and I walked through the halls of school with my head down. Yes, people thought I was a snob when I was just so painfully shy. So I created this company to empower you to communicate confidently in all situations. I created this company to prevent you from looking at the floor and missing out on valuable opportunities for career advancement. So please get ready, take notes, use the chat. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel at The Communication Trainer, please do so. So let's get ready to dive in to tips 21 to 25. And I do see one more comment from Anthony, who's watching from Chicago, and you have benefited from watching my videos as well. Everyone on the comment section, you've made my day. We've all had stressful days, and mine started off quite stressful. So thank you for making my day so much better. And of course, keep watching. So let's get started with tip 21, stage presence. Command your stage. Command your stage with your presence by owning your space and projecting confidence. Last week, I was in Baltimore, Maryland. I was presenting to a group of emerging leaders. And yes, everybody had to stand up at one time or another to introduce themselves, give a pitch, etc. And I loved when this one individual stepped over to a corner and literally owned their space. They found a space. So whether you are on a virtual platform like I'm on now, in person, speaking to one person, speaking to a room full of people, I want you to always think about owning your space. I like to call it the stage. And yes, right now I'm on the stage. So no matter where you are, I want you to embrace your presence, stand tall, exude confidence. Your body language and your demeanor can be not just as powerful as your words, but even more powerful than your words, and will thereby captivate your audience from the moment you take the stage. People often ask me about executive presence, and this is where it counts. Own your space and present yourself in a confident manner. Tip 22 is about audience analysis. So, what does that mean? Think about your audience and tailor your speech to their needs and their preferences to make it more relatable and engaging. I have recently spoken to a group of females in private equity, a group of emerging leaders in a variety of businesses, uh, attorneys, and every audience is different. So I make sure to always have a pre-programmed meeting with the facilitator so I can learn about the audience and know what I need to add to my content so that I can engage and hopefully inspire. You all may have noticed that I tried to engage you with the chat. If this was a corporate engagement, I would do even more with the chat because remember, when we are virtual, the chat is our best friend. So it's really important to conduct some audience research in order to best involve your audience. By customizing your content, you'll create a deeper connection, ensuring that your listeners are impacted. I did see another comment come up. So, Spark for Youth, and I do love that. I'm English trainer, but not like you. It's my dream to be happy. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I'd love to learn a little bit more. I can't say necessarily that this video in and of itself is going to be a direct link to making you happy, but I will say that the training that we provide to our clients definitely fast tracks individuals to a greater, more positive experience in the workplace. Recently, I spoke to some clients and they hired us because they said this training will set them up for success. So let's equate for the moment success and happiness. So tip number 23 is one that I have to remind myself often as well. It's about transitions. Often, when people are working on a presentation, they don't know how to get from one topic to another smoothly. So they want guidance because they know that a good transition will help them flow seamlessly and prevent the audience from getting lost. A good transition serves as a road sign of sorts. You can even use a rhetorical question or a transitional phrase that will help direct your audience into what is to follow. So, when our clients work with us, we do have a list of transitional phrases, which when I look at, I love to review. Some of those are as simple as, which brings me to, we've all used that. I'd like to now discuss, in keeping with, in response to that, I'd like to. Have any of you ever used any of these phrases? Please please feel free to put those in the comment section or share some of your favorite transitional phrases. Carlos says, make a short history, super helpful. Oh, Spark for Youth said, it's my dream to become a trainer like you. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You'll get there. You'll get there. You know, people are always so amazed with my large YouTube following, but it doesn't happen overnight. It took many years, many videos, great deal of education. So just Spark for Youth, just stay confident, practice, watch the videos. Certainly, when the opportunity comes, we have tons of materials that you can purchase, download for free. There's so much for you to help you get to where you want to be. Dr. Sayami from Lagos, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for acknowledging that you're getting value. I purposely schedule these live streams around 12 or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because I do have such an international audience and I do want it to be a somewhat decent time for all of you. So feel free to give a thumbs up in the chat if this time does work for you. Feel free to suggest other times in Eastern Standard Time. Which brings me to tip number 24. And who noticed my transition right there? I said, which brings me to, because I wanted to connect talking to you via the comments to getting back on track. So I used a transition phrase, which brings me to tip number 24, anecdotes and examples. Use real life stories to illustrate key points, making the message more memorable. Who has noticed any of my personal stories so far? I've shared at least two that I recall. I talked about my painful childhood because I was so introverted, and I talked about last week when I was in Baltimore, someone stood and owned their space. Hopefully, that connected with some of you. Khalid is here from Algeria. Thank you so much. And Anthony highlighted the transitional phrases. Yes, aren't they wonderful? So remember to use those anecdotes and examples because they won't just engage your audience, they will provide practical insights that people can apply to their own lives. They'll recognize themselves. They'll be like, oh, that's me. And by connecting on that personal level, you ensure that your message resonates and ensures that it will be maintained long after the speech concludes. And if you have any questions about any of these tips, please feel free to ask in the chat. And I do want to make sure before you all leave me at the end, we posted a question in our community tab today. And after I go through tip number 25, I am going to answer that question. So I do hope the individual is on this call. Yes, JD is the one who requested. So I am hoping that they are here to hear the answer. But first, let's go to tip number 25. My favorite. Those of you who have watched my videos have heard me talk so much about the power of the pause. And at the end of my presentations that I do for different corporations, I always ask for takeaways at the end. And if anyone's on my Instagram page at the Communication Trainer, you will see a list of at least 10 takeaways from last Thursday's event, at least 10. So go to my Instagram page. Inevitably, no matter who the audience is, people always highlight the power of the pause because it is so powerful. It is so important that you master the art of the pause to give greater impact to the delivery of your message. It takes time, it takes practice. Don't expect it to be comfortable as soon as you start inserting pauses. By utilizing the strategic pause, you can emphasize key points and give your audience time to absorb information. And that is so important. Who in business doesn't have 3 different points, 3 benefits, 3 reasons to buy this service? But if you speak quickly and do not insert the pause, your listener is going to be lost and they may bring their business elsewhere. A strategic pause is like an exclamation point. It's like a punctuation point, and it allows your message to breathe and land with impact. And it is so powerful. These moments of silence, and yes, it does take time and practice, give your audience the time to reflect and fully grasp the message and the significance of what you are saying. Let me just say, Anthony said, you're great at utilizing the pregnant pause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Joel said the pause, and Carlos said the pause. And yes, 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 yes. And Carlos said, I knew it for sure. I take a deep breath when I need to pause, and it is helpful. Yes. And many of you might also know that it takes time. It takes time to practice that very important pause. And a great way to practice is just simply pausing when you introduce yourself. My name is Jayne Latz, also known as the Communication Trainer. Did you notice how I did that? I paused for impact because I want all of you to be able to practice as well. A question came in. We had posed on our community tab. And by the way, a video is going to be coming out telling everyone to pay attention to my community tab because we have so much going on the community tab. Information, alerts, deals when I want to offer something at a discounted price, or if I have reduced price. Our community tab is powerful. So a question that was asked was, do you have any questions related to communicating in the workplace? It was something like that. And just today, immediately after it was posted, JD said, do you have a tip to becoming more articulate? And I bet you some of you in the comment section at this point could answer that because you've probably watched so many videos on this topic. However, for you, JD, and anyone else who wants to be more articulate, it's about what we like to call whole word production. And I am right now creating a brand new website. So, yes, everybody, watch the community tab. Hopefully, in a month, you'll see our new website. And there will be so many great handouts for you to download. And why do I say this? Because one that I was working on this weekend has to do with how to be more articulate. So, a simple thought is finishing your word. Often I hear people say most instead of most. I often hear don't instead of don't. When you drop the ends of those words, you do not sound as professional as you may want to sound. And again, I just did some videos on interviewing and accent success, and it all comes down to communicating in a professional manner. So be sure to finish the ends of your words. There are words like bag and bat that differ just in a final sound. Tray and trade. If you swallow the end of your words, people have to play back to figure out what you just said. And while they're playing back, you're still talking and the message is lost. And lost communication costs company billions, not millions, billions. So I don't think you want to be costing your company billions. Homa, sorry, I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Do you a YouTube video for it on the pause, on the power of the pause? We have many, many on clarity, many, many. So yes, these are really the benchmarks of what we do, and there are many videos on that topic. So yes. Okay. Oh, look at that. There you go. All right. So as I begin to wind down, I encourage you to definitely reach out to my YouTubes. There's great content there. Um, I have shared these 5 tips on advanced presentation skills, everything from commanding your space to the power of the pause. And each tip is a valuable tool in your arsenal for success. I want you to remember that public speaking is a journey of continuous growth and refinement. When we work with clients, private clients, our smallest program is 5 or 10 sessions because it takes time to make a change. And there are no shortcuts and there are no express lanes. The consistency of practice will help you to transform your communication skills so you can speak to one individual or 1,000 with greater impact. By implementing these tips into your practice, you will open up greater opportunities to speak. You'll elevate your communication style and you will leave a lasting impression on any audience. I see that Jay said, thank you for answering my question. Oh, I am so delighted that you were here to hear that. Thank you so much for posing that question. And I hope everyone will go to my community tab right after this and pose more questions. That's what it's there for. I love my community tab because it's my way to interact with all of you more than just my video. But I do want to thank you for joining me. And Anthony, as a preacher, thank you so much. I'm always seeking ways to improve my public speaking ability. That's why I watch you. I'm always a student of communication. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have had many, many religious clergy use our services over the years. So thank you for your service and for wanting to continuously be better for your audience as well. And I'm glad I could be a part of it. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the community tab. I look forward to comments when you watch my videos. And I look forward to seeing you next month for our next live stream. So go out, continue to practice, and I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Have a wonderful month ahead.